Detroit Lions fans, welcome back. Stephen Will. Much more positive and upbeat than we have been the last couple of days, man. I listened to some stuff on the radio today. We're going to talk about a lot of things. We're going to talk Jared Goff, Dan Campbell, Aiden Hutchinson, whatever else might pop up. Stick around. Enjoy the show. Hide from your wife or your husband, whoever you are, whatever sex you are, doesn't matter to us. We just care about Lions fans. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. I'm going to issue a challenge at the end of the show. Will, let's start it off. Where do you want to begin? A lot to talk about today. What's at the top of the mountain?
The top of the mountain today, I couldn't have it any other place. My son Jackson, 21st birthday. After we get off of here, we're getting no, I'm just joking. I got work tomorrow. But Jackson, man, happy birthday to you, man. 21. I don't know. Maybe we will have one brewski though. I don't know. We'll see. Well, happy birthday to you, man.
Where'd you spend your 21st birthday, William?
I don't remember. I'm a cornball. I'm a cornball, man. It wasn't nothing crazy. I'm a cornball. I wasn't a big drinker.
No, you're not. You're not a big drinker. I'll tell you this. 21 seems like a long time ago. Okay. Yeah. Long time ago. I was in a little place called Afghanistan where there was no alcohol. You couldn't do anything. Not an ideal place to spend a 21st birthday, but happy birthday, 21. That's a milestone. You know, you're officially an adult. Like you can do all the things adults can do now. I think personally you should be able to drink a beer at 18. If you're old enough to serve your country, you should be old enough to drink a beer. But now you can do it legally. I'm sure this will be the very first time he's ever had a sip. So of course. Drink responsibly, get a designated driver tonight. Dad will come pick you up wherever you might be.
Facts.
Or Uncle Steve will pay for an Uber, whatever you need.
There you go.
All right, Will. What's on your mind with these Lions lately? I know it's been a lot of doom and gloom lately, but
listen, the first thing, and you can lay the table for the people. I seen somebody saying something today, mentioning a little thing about Super Bowl today. I don't know. Did you hear somebody saying something about a Super Bowl?
I sent it to you. I got excited to immediately play the clip, and then we'll have a little talk about it.
Yeah, so
I'm on track for my goal of returning for the Super Bowl. And so I keep telling all the boys when I see him in the facility, I'm like, you guys just got to get there. And I promise you, I'm going to be back, and
let's go. Listen, a lot of you get in the comments every time we talk about it and you say, leave him alone, let him rest and all this stuff. No, absolutely not. If a doctor says he's healthy, he needs to be out there getting sacks and helping us win a Super Bowl. Now, I'm not saying if he's not 100% to put him out there. I'm not saying that at all. Or if he has a higher risk of harming himself to put him out there. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is this. If it is just a matter of dealing with some discomfort for a Super Bowl and he has the whole offseason to rest with the Super Bowl ring, listen, get your butt out there, do what you do. Steve, how do you feel about it?
Not every player can make a Super Bowl. All right. And then if you make a Super Bowl, it's hard to win it and it's hard to get back if you lose. So if this is the only opportunity that Aiden Hutchinson has, like he said, you guys get me there. And then he said a key word, I promise. He said, I promise I'll be back. Now, I'm not on here to call Aiden Hutchinson a liar. I think if he makes a promise, the team holds up their end. I think he's going to hold up his end. We've seen, and what we do here is we look at everything with a microscope. Okay. We looked at him walking in the pool. I said, I'm excited. It's a step in the right direction. The dude had just broke his leg like 5 weeks prior. To be walking at all is nice. And I said, I gotta bring in it a little bit. I gotta see some football activity. Every week we see a video of him walking into the stadium. That limp is looking a little bit better. It looked a little rough the first time I saw it. And I saw a video of him walking in this past Sunday. Still a noticeable limp, but it looked like he was putting a little bit more weight on it. I'm sure there's a lot of stuff behind the scenes that we don't see with some trainers, and maybe they're seeing exactly where he's at. That stuff's not going to make its way onto the internet. If it does, it's going to be under his control, and he'll decide to put it out because doctors can't do that stuff. That's against the law. But yeah, I'm excited. The idea of him saying, hey, guys, reinforcements are on the way. Okay, you guys get the job done. You guys carry the pail. I'll pick up the bucket once we get to the Super Bowl. I'm excited, but again, I want to see some actual football activities going on before I start to get really excited. And you hit it. Got to be cleared by a doctor. That's checkbox number one. If that's not happening, this isn't looking good. And I get it. He's an NFL player. That's his mindset, but what his body is saying could be something else. So I'm really trying not to get excited, but William, I'm excited. Okay.
There's two things that excite me about this. Multiple doctors saying that this is the actual timeline for the injury. Right. That's one thing that makes me excited. Two is hearing it straight out of the horse's mouth, hearing it straight from Aiden Hutchinson, that it's a goal of his. That times a promise equals Aiden Hutchinson in the Super Bowl. Book it, folks. Listen, we make the Super Bowl. You're going to see Aiden Hutchinson, and he is going to be causing havoc. If anybody can do it, he can do it. He came from Divine Child, went to the University of Michigan, and absolutely saved us. It wasn't since then. 1997, Charles Woodson was the last time that we were talking national championships. Aiden Hutchinson came, put us on his back, and took care of business. Now he's come to Detroit, put us on his back, and took care of business, helped turn this franchise around with guys like Panay and Amon-Ra St. Brown. Now, he is the story, like I keep saying, inside the den, the movies, the books that they're going to write about this thing, us rebounding finally from the curse, it's going to have Aiden Hutchinson written all over it, man. The story just keeps getting better. It's just another addition to the story. Steve, I'm getting too hyped up. Where are we going next, man?
William, I just some of these fans are just so doom and gloom. Like I had my day on Monday, and all right, I admit it. Monday, I was not in a good place. All right, Lions lost, back from vacation. I had the vacation hangover.
Yep.
We're 12-2. All right, we control our own destiny. Are we up against it with the injuries? Is everyone counting us out? Everyone's saying there's no chance the Lions are going to win the Super Bowl. They went from favorites to dropping in the odds to win the Super Bowl. Everyone's writing us off. The Eagles are now the team to beat. The Bills, like, that's okay. I kind of like it that way. You know why? Let us fly under the radar for the next 3 to 4 weeks. Let us win some football games. And then everyone's going to say, oh, shit, yeah, hey, we forgot about the Detroit Lions. Look at them now. They're starting to get a little healthier. They might get a couple pieces back. Alex Anzalone. I saw some news about David Montgomery today. Some conflicting reports, William. I don't know if are you up to schedule with what's going on with David Montgomery?
I am, and I'm not. So I will say that I'm hearing that it may not be over, but
Yeah.
I'm also hearing that it's over. So
50,
if you know something, yeah. So I just, now here's one where I don't want to do anything that's gonna be a lasting thing for him, because we have Jahmyr Gibbs. Right. And it's not about Jahmyr Gibbs taking over or anything like that. I love David Montgomery. He's been an absolute dog. I told you, to me, they're the beginning of this season. I say the first 6 games at least, I felt like there was 2 really good running backs, and he was top 2, and he was number 2 at the beginning of the season. Now, when Saquon started jumping over people backwards and doing all this crazy stuff, okay, he took it to another level. But David Montgomery is definitely up there in the conversation of top 5 backs, man, over that run for sure. But I don't want to see him do anything that's going to be lingering into next season. Get your surgery, get healthy, rehab, and come back a dog next season. But obviously, if the doctors say he's cleared and he's not doing anything that could potentially be damaging him, I would love to see it.
Yeah, I'm with you. Again, this is the same scenario we just talked about with Hutch. It's going to come down to a doctor. All right, whatever they say, they're the professionals, the team doctors, his independent doctors. A lot of people have to check off on this to get him back on a football field. But I'm just saying, it's a conflicting report. I don't know. Is he done for the season? He says there's a chance he comes back. I know what Dan Campbell said, that he's going to require surgery. That might have been the information from the team doctor. There might be another guy out there saying another thing. I don't know. I'm not getting too excited because in my mind, the last 24 hours, it sunk in that David Montgomery's probably gone. So I've already accepted that. So any news that maybe that might not be the case would be good news for me. So we'll just have to sit back, wait and see. But like I said, this Detroit Lions team, man, we might be flying under the radar now because a lot of people are counting us out. So, I mean, if we get back Anzalone, we'll see what's going on with him. We might get a couple other pieces back. You know, Pascal getting back to healthy. I know he's banged up. We got a lot of guys. This D-line is the biggest concern for me, not the running back room. I think we'll be just fine there. But just keep sleeping on the Detroit Lions because did you hear what Dan Campbell had to say this morning on 97.1 The Ticket, William?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, I did. And it excites me, but I'll let you tell the people. It excites me a lot, though.
He was pretty much, you know, if you guys haven't seen the video or if you were watching it or listening to it live on the radio, there was some bleeps. All right. They had to hit the dump button on a couple words that Dan Campbell said. He sounded pretty fired up this morning. I watched the clips on TikTok. I saw it, and he was throwing out some words that weren't allowed on airwaves. But Dan, if you ever want to come on Detroit Den 313, we are not censored here. We can say whatever the F we want. We don't have to dump anything.
As many F bombs as you want, Dan.
Yeah. But he pretty much was just saying, hey, it's going to take more. We got used to eating some good prime rib and some good eating. And now we got to go back to eating that moldy bread. We got to remember where we came from. We got to remember that, this is a team that's been through it. This is a team that fought to get into the playoffs a few years ago, came up short, needed a little help with the Seattle win, or I can't remember the situation, had to go to Green Bay, knock them out of the playoffs. We know what it takes to have our backs up against the wall. This year, we don't need any help. We control our own destiny. I think Dan's just kind of reminding people like, hey, we're 12-2. A lot of people are forgetting this. And he said my favorite part from his interview was he said, I'm pissed that we can't go on another 11-game winning streak this season. It's not possible. There's not 11 games left, but we can go on a 6-game winning streak. All right. We can lock up that number 1 seed if we win the next 3 games of the regular season, get a bye week, win a couple more games, go to the Super Bowl. 6-game winning streak is what we need, not 11, William. How do you feel?
Dan Campbell, Coach Campbell, is the only coach in the world, I believe, that could have me ready to go eat moldy bread. He had me when he said it. I was like, where's the moldy bread at? I'm ready to fucking get down. It's all I need. All I need is moldy bread. Like he had me hyped up, man. I see why he has his players ready to go every single week, Steve. I love what he said. I think it really spoke to who we are as a team organization, and fans need to listen to it. They need to take heed to it, man. I do want to say something about our fans, and not the Detroit Den 313 fans, but the Detroit Lions fans in general. We got to be better. And I challenged us as a fan base with these tickets. Again, there was a lot of Buffalo Bills fans in the building, didn't like that. But not only the tickets, now we got to understand, and I meant to talk about this on the post-game show. We can't be chanting and cheering when the offense is out there. During an offensive drive, a couple of them, we were chanting Jared Goff. Guys, we got to let the guys work. Let the guys work. I know Detroit Lions fans, me included, we're new to this whole winning thing and, rocking the stadium and, executing proper etiquette during the football games. We got to know when to be quiet, when to be loud, right? We need to know when we got to be very critical of our team and when we need to, let the people know that we are never going to give up and we're never going to get in. So as a fan base, 2 things Will is going to ask you to do. Please be quiet when the offense is working. That's number 1. And number 2, don't let your tickets go to the opposing team. No. Sell them on Facebook. Go to our Detroit Den Facebook page and sell them. Go to somewhere, post them on a bulletin board at work, whatever social media platform you got to. Make sure that they do not go to opposing teams. They do not deserve to be in Ford Field ever.
No. Yeah, absolutely. Join our public Facebook group. I have people, most of those people that are on there are friends with me and Will, mostly work friends, acquaintances, people we know, family. Every week we're getting message. I am anyway. Hey man, you got any extra tickets to the game this week? No, I'm going. I don't have extra tickets. Like it's a hot ticket. Not everyone's giving them up. If you guys have tickets, come over to our Facebook page. Once I can verify you're a real person and not a bot, because we've had some scammers and all that, I try to filter those guys out. You are more than welcome to post them. Post your tickets. Someone will reach out to you. I can almost guarantee it. Sell them there. Plus, the people who are buying them would rather buy them from you and not go to StubHub and pay ridiculous fees. Like the prices on there are so astronomical. Trust me, I was looking at going to a couple away games this year. It's not possible because of some of the tickets, because the Detroit Lions are the hottest game in town. And I saw something, Will, that the Detroit Lions and Buffalo Bills was the highest selling regular season game this year so far. So the Detroit Lions travel. We travel well. We've seen our takeovers. We've seen take a takeover at Arrowhead. Like everywhere we traveled, the blue wave is right there in full effect, and you can hear it on the TV if you're watching from home. So, yeah. But just back to business, man. Dan Campbell, he's the best coach in the NFL. This dude knows how to manage his team, how to Well, I know a lot of people are questioning that with all the injuries, but guys, it's football. It's a violent sport. There's a lot of contact. All right. I understand some of these injuries are non-contact injury and people are blaming the new Ford Field turf. Shit happens in the NFL. I get it. This is very unprecedented. We have 23 people on IR or something like that. Like, it's a crazy number that we've never seen before, but most of these injuries are just coming from friendly fire. Hutch's injury was from friendly fire against Lee McNeil's leg. Just shit like that. Like, I get it. Some boo-boos here happen, but Dan Campbell is just the greatest motivator of all time. Like, if that, you can listen to that dude on a radio show and you're pumped up for the rest of the day. That's how I felt today. And Jared Goff came on the show later and kind of said the same thing. Like, hey, everybody, calm down. Like, we're 12-2. We're going to be just fine. Like, if you guys haven't listened to it, we couldn't clip it because of copyright issues. We tried. So we're kind of paraphrasing and just kind of painting the picture for you. But they both went on the show today, and we're talking with not Stoney and Jansen. It's God, I don't even know who's on the morning show anymore. I know John Jansen's on there. That's the only guy I really care for because he's a former player, former Michigan player. He knows what he's talking about when he's talking football. Yeah. No. But go give that a listen. It's worth it. But we're just fired up. We're ready for this season to get going. This is the real, this is the final push. This is the end haul here. So, William,
can I offer an apology before we get off, man?
For what?
Number one, I didn't know that Craig Reynolds has such a strong following.
Yeah, jeez.
But I apologize. I did not know. Listen, I like Craig Reynolds. I want to publicly say that for the people who are very upset with me and us about it. Just thought maybe getting a first round draft pick running back in the building when we just potentially lost ours might be a good idea. He's off the books next year. We don't have to keep him around. I'm not trying to replace David Montgomery. I'm not trying to kick Craig Reynolds off the team. I just want to put that out there. I apologize to all the Craig Reynolds fans. Listen, just tried to get the Motown Fresh Prince of Hilaire out here to get a look at him, man. Just trying to get a look at Clyde, man. That's it. I thought it might be a good idea. But, hey, Craig Reynolds runs that thing hard, without a doubt. He runs that thing hard. He gets down on special teams. I don't really know what Sione Vaki is quite yet. I mean, I am excited for him to get a look out there. Not saying that those guys shouldn't get a look. Not trying to run anybody out of town. But when a first-round draft pick gets waived that's only 25 years old, you might want to get him in the building to take a look at him, was all I was saying. So I just wanted to clarify that because there was a lot of comments about it. I got a couple of DMs about it. So I just wanted to put it in the air. So, Steve, I think you better draw your line in the sand. Are you standing with or against Craig Reynolds? And be careful because I might post your address depending on which side.
Oh, I've never been against Craig Reynolds. I was just talking about bringing in Clyde Edwards-Helaire as just depth. Like, I didn't think he's going to go out and carry the football 25 times or take the carries that David Montgomery got. He could just be another guy. And I even said, Craig Reynolds is someone that the Detroit Lions trust. It's someone that Dan Campbell trusts. I talked about a 4th and 1 situation from the goal line last year in the playoffs, the most meaningful football you could be playing. I can't remember if it was the Rams. I think it was the Tampa Bay game. It doesn't matter. It was a playoff game. So it's win or go home. And they trusted Craig Reynolds enough to be 4th and 1 in the goal line and to say, hey, I'm going to turn this ball, hand it over to Craig. He's going to pound that football in because nobody thinks it's coming. But I trust Craig enough. So, yeah, I'm not against Craig. I think he had one of the biggest blocks of the season last year, too, against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to spring Amon-Ra St. Brown free for a long touchdown. So, yeah, I trust Craig in all aspects, pass blocking, running the football, knowing the playbook. I don't have any issues with Craig Reynolds. I was just trying to say, I think you were too. Clyde Edwards-Helaire is available. We just lost our running back. Like, let's just add a little bit more depth here because we don't know what's going to happen. These injuries are popping up left and right. We want to just be sure. Also, real quick, I saw that another cornerback became available today, William.
Who's that?
Ambry Thomas. That should be a name familiar with you. Michigan kid, 3rd round pick, waived by the 49ers. I don't know. Again, we're not trying to kick anyone out. We're just trying to bring someone else in.
No, yes, you are. You're trying to kick out Kendall Vildor. You are.
You know what? You know what, Will?
Don't tell the truth.
Let me be honest with you. You're damn right. I'd be kicking out Kendall Vildor for Ambry Thomas. I'm not gonna fluff my opinions to appease people.
Yeah. If you wanted to tell me about political answers, you tried it. I'm not gonna let it fly. No, sir.
I damn well would take Ambry Thomas, a 3rd round pick from Michigan, tough kid, can play a lot of different styles of corner. He can play some press man coverage. He can play some zone coverage. Why not? Again, assuming we're keeping Kendall Vildor, bringing in another cornerback is probably needed just in case, because we are getting thin at outside corner. We're good at safety. We're thin on the D-line, a little thin at running back with some question marks. But, guys, Dan Campbell's fired up. He's in a positive place. He's talking about winning football games. Jared Goff's doing the same. I think our fan base hopefully calms down. Listen, let's at least see what we do against the Chicago Bears, okay? And Dan Campbell even said, I don't care if I have to win the rest of the season by 1 point. I don't care if I only get 50 yards of offense or if I give up 700 yards on defense, as long as we win by 1 point or more. That is going to be the mindset going into the rest of the season. I trust that Aaron Glenn is probably spending the night in his office, bringing in players, trying to find what they do best, maybe fixing his scheme a little bit. I know people weren't too hot on some of his adjustments he made against Buffalo, but Buffalo Bills are the hottest team in the NFL. They carved us up, and I'll say this about our offense. A couple drops here and there, a turnover, that might be a whole different game, all right?
Yeah.
We might have needed one more stop. Maybe the onside wasn't the best idea. Doesn't matter. It's time to move on. We control our own fate. Let's see what happens the rest of the season before we start selling our tickets and giving up hope, because at this time, most of my life, William, at this point in the season, we're tanking. We're thinking about the draft. I'm thinking about the draft too. I'm thinking about who are going to be drafting at pick 32 with that Super Bowl pick.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. No, I agree with you. I think that I'm still super excited. I'm looking forward to playing the Chicago Bears. Hopefully the same team that just played the Minnesota Vikings, because those guys didn't even show up. I was watching Minnesota Vikings. Aaron Jones was just teeing off on them, just doing his thing. And so was Sam Darnold. So hopefully the Bears have packed it in. I think that Caleb Williams has been the most hit quarterback in the NFL this year. He's just getting sacrificed, as you talked about on another episode. He's getting sacrificed by Chicago week in and week out. So hopefully we can keep that pace going for those guys, because we could not get to Josh Allen for anything. I just watched back a little bit of the film today, and even some of the blitz packages that AG was coming up with, they picked up well. Stunts weren't working. We couldn't get pressure in our one-on-one matchup. So hopefully that's something that we have a lot more success with, because I didn't see any new transactions or new personnel that's come into the building. So it's going to be the same personnel as last week, minus Salim McNeil.
There was one.
Who was it?
We picked up Anthony Pittman from the Jacksonville Jaguars practice squad, former line.
Yeah. So it's going to be. Yeah. Actually, I will say this about Anthony Pittman. He is a hell of a special teamer. I will say that he's a hell of a special teamer, but nothing of a true impact that from my belief. I think that we're pretty much going to be putting out the same product that we put out, hopefully just executing a little bit better. So if we can't get to Caleb, man, he has a shot. He definitely has a live arm.
Yeah. I don't know what the Bears are doing. I think they should maybe look at shutting Caleb Williams down, but they can also play some spoilers to a division rival. So maybe they got something to play for some bragging rights, I guess. I don't know, but we're not the Bears.
I don't think they can shut him down, because there was a small select group of people that were talking about wanting Tyson Bagent to be the starting quarterback for this season. So if Tyson Bagent goes out there and balls out, things might get weird in Chicago. So I know that you're never going to make him the starting quarterback, but might put some pressure on Caleb, might make things weird around there. I don't know. I think if you tank him, those guys that were kind of rocking with Tyson, because they said Tyson was having some really good practices at the beginning of the season, and he was looking real good while Caleb was struggling. Young guy, I think that he's going to.
He played for him last year, and he looked pretty decent too. He played some football.
So I think he's, if you know the background of his dad, the arm wrestler, just a super feisty, get after it type of dude, macho guy. I don't think that his son is going to be shying away from any competition or any opportunity that he gets. So I can't see them taking Caleb and shutting him down for the season, because I don't think that they want to create any type of controversy or anything like that.
I don't think there'd be much controversy. I mean, he's a number one overall pick. They're going to give him every opportunity. But we can't spoil too much. We got a game day episode coming up.
True. My bad.
Jeez. Forget everything you heard, guys. Anything else for tonight?
No, man. Just can't wait to see Aiden in the Super Bowl.
Are you ready for Steve's challenge that I mentioned at the beginning of the show?
No, what was that?
A challenge. I am issuing a challenge. Everyone who stuck around and watched this episode to the end, we're coming close to 30 minutes. Here's the deal. 8,000 subscribers by the end of the month. where I don't even know where we are right now. We're somewhere in the. We got a little work to do. If you guys hammer that subscribe button and get us to 8,000 by the end of the year, I have a Brian Branch jersey in this little closet right here next to me. On top of that, a black one too. It's a nice one of those retro jerseys. On top of that Brian Branch jersey, I'll throw in $100 gift card to maybe like a Nike or or something where you guys can maybe go get another jersey too. Maybe the Detroit Lions gift shop, $100 gift card and a jersey if we hit 8,000 subscribers by December 31st. That's all I got for tonight. Stick around, hit that like button, leave some comments. We'll be back later with another show.
Peace. Oh, it's on me, huh? I forgot. Terrible. Unbelievable. You got one job, man. Do your fucking job.